partnerships is going to be really important. I think, banks, crypto businesses, we all need to work together. At the moment, that's not really happening. There are pockets of partnerships beginning to develop, but they really need to sort of embrace the strengths of what each other brings. Trust, stability, innovation, speed. There's a lot that can sort of come together. And I think together with central banks, regulators, this could really change the way the world operates when it comes to payments.
Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. And in the intro was Michelle Ruperel, head of the Asia Pacific Banking Circle, talking 3 days ago on banks needing a crypto strategy. Now, here is what is interesting. The former Treasury official and the former Ripple advisor, this would be Michael Barr, who now has become the vice chair of the Federal Reserve, gave a speech on October 12th about managing risk. About halfway in his speech, he talks about striking the right balance for crypto asset activity, and crypto assets have grown rapidly in the last several years, both in the market capitalization and in reach. But here is where I highlight what he said. Recent fissures in these markets have shown that some crypto assets are rife with risk, including fraud, theft, manipulation, and even exposure to money laundering activities. Crypto assets related activity, both outside and inside supervised banks, requires oversight that includes safeguards to ensure that crypto service providers are subject to similar regulations as other financial services providers. Doesn't sound very bullish, does it? And now hear from Caitlin Long, who's been waiting for 2 years to get the licensing to custody crypto.
And it gets to the question of whether crypto truly is risky within the traditional banking system and the connectivity, because there was a major announcement this morning, which is that Bank of New York Mellon, which is, I believe, the largest bank in the United States by assets, has officially now entered Bitcoin custody. And the interesting question that is raised by that is that they are a bank holding company that is regulated by supervised by the Federal Reserve. My company, as you know, has a lawsuit against the Federal Reserve, and I am about to make some news. You will see a filing from my company in that lawsuit pertaining to the announcement this morning, because the Federal Reserve filed filings last week talking about the risk to the financial system from crypto. And then today, a Federal Reserve supervised bank holding company enters crypto. We've been waiting for 2.5 years to do that. And look what the Fed actually said last week versus what it did today.
It's very tough, disheartening to witness the rigged legacy network at play. And I'm sure this is why many people responded as they did to Charles Hoskinson, who I don't think really was keeping up on all the facts of the discovery from the participants in this space, people who are in the community that have worked so hard over the past 2 years, and then just to be dismissed as part of a conspiracy. Yeah, it was painful. Some more of those legacy players, the bankers cooperative that formed SWIFT and JP Morgan. There was an announcement that they made at SIBOS yesterday, and I've clipped it for you. It's just about 2 minutes long. Have a listen.
What is SWIFT Go, and why is now the best time to roll it out?
Yes, so you just mentioned it. The low-value payment space is really skyrocketing, and banks are actually uniquely positioned to capitalize on this growth. Since the beginning of the year, I'm super happy to announce that we've tripled the number of banks signing SWIFT Go. So we went from 120 to now more than 400 banks. More importantly, the solution actually covers all the currencies in the world. All you need is a clearing bank so that you can start actually servicing customers in their local and non-local currency. And those payments arrive for 87% of them in 3 minutes.
3 minutes?
3 minutes.
JP Morgan is aligning its Expedite product with SWIFT Go to make it even easier for clients to implement a low-value cross-border payment offering.
It's a new solution that we've launched at SIBOS, and Expedite Remit focuses on consumer-to-consumer payments. So what we're trying to do is to help banks capture and retain these consumer-to-consumer flows, which, as I mentioned, they had sort of stepped away from that market. And if you look at banks, they have largely ceded that space to fintechs and money service businesses. And the fintechs and money service bureaus showed them that this can actually be a big business. And by the way, most of those firms use bank rails in the back end. So then banks have started focusing on low value payments. What we are trying to do is to help them settle real time where possible with full principal protection and upfront costs. And if you add all types of consumer payments, it can be more than $4 trillion. So it's a huge market, and it's growing at double-digit pace. So that's why everyone is suddenly interested in it. And so we said we'll come together and let's, join forces to think about where migrant workers send their money or expat workers send their money. India, China, Philippines, Mexico, those are the big corridors across the world. So we're building those out first. So we cover about 40% now. 70% of all the flows will be covered next year, and then after that, 90%. So that's our roadmap.
Will JP Morgan use their JP Morgan coin with this new Expedite Remit? I don't know. I tried to find a little more information, but it was just released, and so the media is just catching up to write about it. So I want to point you to Panos. He's on Twitter, and he's been fighting the misinformation about Ripple and XRP for a very long time. And I happen to agree with him on this. There will never be a chosen one in the industry. And there is always going to be many players that will coexist, especially in this new digital era with the many innovators and with a level playing field and better competition. Will Ripple take the biggest market share? He says very possible. This market share is in the trillions, and there is a race to carve it up and grab that market share right now. That is for sure. He continues with this thread, and what he's pointing out is there are some inaccuracies in this very popular video. And it's quite interesting also to know that I spoke with someone today who also is very factual. Have a listen and see if you can guess who this is.
That's where you start to put facts together. And so I think if you approach it as an archaeologist, there's these points of data. I've seen, this is happening over here. I've seen this happen over here. What does it mean? I think you're on safer ground because everybody has an opinion, and it's hard to separate the noise from the actual signal so much in crypto.
That was the one and only Wrath of Kahneman. What a legend. He is one of the best sources of information when it comes to XRP on the crypto Twitter. He and I talked for about 2 hours today, and an hour was captured on Zoom. I look forward to sharing with you a lot of those clips. Now shifting to the markets, boy, did we have a wild day on the Dow. When it opened, it plunged 500 points and then jumped 1,500 points just in 6 hours to finish 800 points higher. It was historic, actually, for the Dow. It marked the 5th largest intraday reversal in history. And this choppy session was mirrored with Bitcoin. And if we jump over to crypto, Bitcoin is in kissing distance of 20,000. XRP is up nearly 6%, Algo up 7%, and Quant heading towards $170 with a 9.8% gain on the last 24 hours. It's 69% on the 30-day, clearly the superstar in the top 50 by market cap. And we're jumping to just a little bit of fluff. Would I be dating myself if I told you I thought that this was really funny? Or maybe they still play Twister. This is the latest work that was uploaded today by Tatsuya Tanaka. His work just makes me smile. And to take this video out, I'm going to share with you that there are some fabulous people in the XRP Flare and Songbird community. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.
I'm an acoustic guitar builder. I started building acoustic guitars in 2010. I got a job at a guitar factory in San Luis Obispo, California, called National Resophonic Guitars. Worked there for about 7 years, and after working there, seeing all the beautiful instruments that came out of that shop, it just inspired me. 12 years later, here I am building my own acoustic guitars and tying it into the crypto space and trying to get more people involved to learn about the trade of guitar building, instrument building, because there's so much that goes into it. Essentially what I'm doing now is I'm taking my acoustic guitar building skills and merging it with NFTs, non-fungible tokens. So essentially I will have an NFT made that will be paired with a acoustic guitar. The first one that I did a collaboration with Johnny Lawrence, and we just dropped that NFT called Reborn. And it's a XRP themed NFT with an XRP themed acoustic guitar. So I have a Phoenix inlay on the guitar and fire and flame imagery, all throughout. I made sure I, really tried to capture the essence of fire and flame. And Johnny's NFT is just absolutely stunning. I would like to create an entire community and a new project where people can use my native token, which is going to be the C note, and it's going to be a governance token, which will allow people to vote on materials used, stylistic designs for acoustic guitars, themes for acoustic guitars, and then basically, after the voting's all done, I will build that guitar. And I really just want to share how really cool it is to build an acoustic guitar.